until you bring a kid round and they come home with armfuls of blinking stuff that people have given them. I'm still finding the stickers in my caravan from last time that Kev very kindly gave to my daughter. But there we are. Andy Lambert, I beg your pardon, like I said, stayed at number 3. Is that Lenny?
Yeah, Len Padgett, you're dead right. Saw him wandering around earlier on. There he is.
Against Gary Clark. Len hasn't put in a run in yet in the energy check lane. Gary Clark's currently number 7, went 10.90 yesterday.
Well, Lenny could threaten the number 1 spot here.
He does know how to ride a... Oh, look at that number! 866, 153. I wouldn't say...
He's run off with it.
Yeah, run and hit, I think, from everybody. Wow.
11.23 in the Auto Blue Laner. Right, Charlie Draper's second attempt. Might need a third. Oh, it'll come good, Charlie, in the end, don't worry. Still got another go, but not playing properly this time round.
Right, this is the last bike, I think. This is Claire Rule. Maybe last pair of bikes, I don't know. We now have 12 bikes with times on the charts. There's more about. Obviously, Charlie's one of them. We have Outlaw Anglia Q2 rolling round. So Claire, yesterday went 9.07. To step up even one spot, she's got to go 8.89. Pretty good looking run. Would it be quicker than 9.07? 8.80, 148. Up to the number 2 spot. She put in a bunch of practice runs yesterday, and obviously that was worth it.
Yeah, I think Steve was thinking, was that an 8 flat? No, it's an 8.80.
Oh, okay.
8.8, all the zeros after that.
Yeah, he put, well, I held up number 2 because I thought he went qualified, was it?
Right.
So he probably thought it was an 8.2. Anyway, Q2 for Outlaw Anglia. Peter Jones hasn't put in a pass yet. In the energy check lane, Gary Hill did. It was a 10.21 with the green machine in the Auto Glim lane. Just having a quick chat with, he'll be around in a moment. I did a quick chat with Colin Miller in the pairing lanes. And he was saying they did a big photo shoot last night.
Yeah,
and he said, yeah, it was a pain to do, but you know what? 10 years' time, I'm going to sit and look at that picture on my mantelpiece and think, you know what? We were there.
That, yeah, loads of pictures have actually appeared on social media of that last night. So, yeah, well done. Right, Peter Jones and Gary Hill.
Well, Gary hooking towards the wall. Brings it back in the middle nicely. Oh yeah, 9.86. And 11.02 for Pete Jones gets him the number 21 spots.
Can't believe he's saying number 21 in Outlaw Anglia.
I know.
So
unreal.
many. Right, into the pairing lanes. Can we please have the Supercharged Outlaws, please? Into the lanes. Supercharged Outlaws. Let's have you down, please.
Kim Harrison, Jeff Meads. Kim was number 23. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. We're just kind of overwhelmed by the size of the class these days. It's fabulous. Energy check lane for Kim. I think she's been in the 10s. I think she ran 11 yesterday. Against Jeff Meads, who's looking to break into the 7s for the first time
no
ever.
nitrous on this one, though.
How well held was that?
Beautiful.
820. Kim with 11.52 at 1:17. Are you sure that was no nitrous?
Well, I didn't see a purge, but that must have been to go 8.23. Goodness.
Well, at
me,
one set,
run.
the speed I think is what gives it.
Yeah.
1:71. That's a street car, by the way.
And he's still running on treads.
Is he?
Yeah,
he's
he's
got
still on
wheelie
treads.
bars on it, isn't he? But I don't think he doesn't tend to use them. Anyway, 126 to 60. That was a great run for Jeff Meads. Okay, currently your number 2 qualifier, Scott Crookston.
Yeah, on the journey down yesterday, he wasn't actually feeling that well. And there's a heck of a drive, as we know, from where they come down from. And they
Scotland.
weren't expecting to put a qualifier in last night. So, nevertheless, best cure for illness is get behind one of these.
And run within a couple of hundredths of your personal best. 7:51 he went yesterday. Hi, Aussie, written on the roof. I'm sure, Aussie, you know who you are. So Scott looking for another 7.4. Craig Wright, excuse me, out front, directing traffic. Ian Tweddle with the anxious Anglia. I passed this car on the M25.
He was down at American Speed Fest. I had a great chat with Ian. It's when you go to events like that and you're around all day, you just get to meet people.
Obviously,
really chat away. A real nice guy.
That's why you bought a street car, isn't it?
Yes, right, yeah. Even though I trailered it down there, but there we go. I knew I wouldn't come back with any tyres. Oh, beautiful flat launch there for Scott. 110, 60 foot.
Yeah, this could be a good one for the Scotsman. 7:48, quickest run ever, 178 miles an hour. 11:12 for Ian Tweddle, 120. So, your next pair.
The hits just keep on coming.
Yeah, you bet. Shane Bird and Luke Hoskins. Luke Hoskins, energy check lane, which is the pit side, if you will, and Shane Bird with the long shot pop with a small block in it in the auto glim lane, which is the spectator side. So Luke's going to get there first. Luke goes 10:31, 129. 12:31 for Shane Bird. That was a big improvement for Luke Hoskins. Up to number 15 for now. So Barry Crookston in the Flying Scotsman. They're going to run out of names. No, sorry, in the Flying Salto, I beg your pardon. They're going to run out of names soon, aren't they? Barry's in the energy check lane. Currently number 14 with a 10:28. They've had one qualifying session yesterday. Have they got another 2 or 3 today, mate? I think they've got 2 today. They've got this one, another one later, because they're running the first round of a 32-car field this evening, aren't they?
Yep.
Taking on Nathan Barlow. Nathan's first, I think, ever outing in Outlaw Anglia. This is the original orange pop. That's Simon out front directing. Sorry, beg your pardon. That's not Simon Barlow. It's Jason. I beg your pardon. Sorry, out front. Simon's in the car, isn't he? I must admit, I don't know if you've noticed, Colin. We have a much better looking crowd than they do at Silverstone.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's. If anybody is interested, we are showing the Grand Prix qualifying on the big screen in Fuelers Bar and that. So and in the main area over there. So if you actually want to watch the qualifying on the Formula One, well, you can if you want to. I know I'd rather be watching this though.
I was just going to say, if you like going around corners, it means it must be a bit weird if you're here. 10:14 for Barry. Moves up one spot. Nathan with a 10:69. And the shootout as well. Ted Booth, Mick Taylor. Mick has obviously found what's been ailing him with the directional issues. Either that or it's just more power.
Torque converter was the main thing that was, I believe, was giving him issues. That's one thing that they did change, and it sort of brought the car back to life, ran into the low 8s.
It went 8.3, didn't he? Something like that. Yeah, he was putting in test runs yesterday. Yesterday evening, he went 9.79. He was a little bit... It didn't look like the nitrous fired on that run, let's be fair. It was a little bit sluggish compared to what it normally is. Ted Booth with Mighty Mouse.
This will be nitrous, because obviously you can't run nitrous in Gasser Circus, but you can in Outlaw Anglia.
Yeah, that's his good lady Katie out there directing him into stage. Katie drives the car in Gasser Circus. Ted in Outlaw Anglia. Yeah, just to make sure we know he's running nitrous. There we go. See, that's what Mick Taylor's car did yesterday. It was just very, very lazy off the line. and it's still not. Ted with a 964, 981 for Mick. I was going to say either that or Ted Booth is on a hell of a run. His quickest run ever. But there we go.
Good run for Ted.
Ted up to number 11. Bumps Mick Taylor back one spot. Right, the young lad out there, the shy retiring gentleman that is, Mr. Colin Miller.
Actually got a huge round of applause for his burnout last night.
I'm not surprised.
It was quite a good one.
He's in the energy check lane. I had a quick chat with him in the lanes. Always good to have a chat with Colin. And occasionally get a word in. The funny thing is that they've been having, quick on the roof, it says hello DPS, and I can't really, sorry Colin, I can't read any of that. Presumably that's hello everybody at work, I think that is. Can you see what that is?
That's one of his sponsors, isn't it?
It is indeed. So anyway, Colin, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get, he ran an enormous speed yesterday, like 188, 189. Oh yeah, but the trouble is, for the first time ever, he's trying to get this car off the line running gas.
Yeah.
That's why it's shaking, because what he's doing is he's giving it a lot more off the start line. If it hooks and goes, it will be monumental. If. Up against Phil Druitt in the Auto Glim lane. So, if the Flying Fifer hooks and goes. There you go, you can see the nitrous kicking at about 60 foot. Probably a little bit too much actually for Colin that time. He went straight right, 874, 155. Very nicely done, 954, 142. The funny and very noticeable thing for Colin is that's always been one of the most consistent cars. Now he's trying to stand on it. It's a right, it's a right pain in the backside. I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying. He did say yesterday when it shook off the start line and he pedalled it and kept going. He said
he can get a Scotty Crookston 60 foot.
Yeah,
and then a Colin Miller the rest of the way. It'd be.
Well, I think he was on the way to it there, but the car just got away from him.
It's only 128 to 60, but obviously the gas kicking in late.
Yeah, 110 is what Scotty's running, isn't it?
That's what I mean.
There we go.
Tuning
tips from Colin and Darryl. Don't use them for God's sake.
It's not worth it. Ronnie Mercer, my goodness me, did he put a run in yesterday? 9:42. The thing flew up the track.
Yeah, that was good. That was obviously not in regular Pro ET bracket for him, was it?
No.
Against Adrian Wickham.
And again, look at that. Oh, it's arrow straight into the nines again. 9:31. Oh, Annie, what a run that was. That was monstrous.
141 miles an hour, 10.91. Nicely done for Adrian Whitcomb. Moves up a couple of spots. You wonder why you can hear a blown engines coming. Yep, there's two supercharged big block. Sorry, one big block, one small block, 4 pops coming round.
God, excuse us, what's put our fillings back in. That was shaking the tower, that pair of burnouts. Matt Cooper and Simon Barlow.
Supercharged Anglias. I'm sure that when they built these, that's what they had in mind for them in years to come, didn't they? I'm sure they also thought, do you know what? Someone's going to build one of these that's going to be knocking on the door of 6s at 200 miles an hour. And you're looking at it, the orange pop in the Auto Glim lane. That car is going to produce a huge run sometime soon, because it already has.
I don't know if Matt's lost fire or if he's just not got reverse.
I think if he'd lost fire, they'd be pushing him out the way, but... Oh, a bit of girl power going on the front with Dave Etter, or whatever you want to call him at the moment. Davina, that's the one. So Simon Barlow, a week ago at the Ford show, went 7:08 with that machine. Needless to say, that was the quickest run ever in Outlaw Anglia. I think it was 192 miles an hour. Well, Matt Cooper...
Well, the good news is it looks like he's only lost reverse.
It is, yeah.
Or you can say lost it, just not been able to engage it. Yeah, he's got forward motion. Good to see. Right, side by side then.
So the Cooper brothers taking on Mr. Barlow. Small block against big block. That's a much bigger tune for Simon Barlow. What's the number on the boards? 7:27 at 1:91. A very good quick run for Simon Barlow, and it was a damn good job because Matt Cooper did his best to join him in the passenger seat.
Yeah, he wanted to see the scoreboard close up, I think.
1:14 to 60 foot for Simon Barlow. That really was on one, but looked like the engine was eating itself up through the finish line. That's why the track crew out there doing a bit of checking. Matt Cooper does not get any laps time, because if you start in one lane and finish the other, it doesn't work.
No.
Maybe he wanted to claim the elapsed time in the other lane. That's what it was. He thought, hope if I can sneak through, no one will notice. Yeah, hopefully Simon's car was just breathing a bit heavy at the finish line, but it certainly left like it meant it. Pulled straight towards the centre line, towards 60 foot, but you can see the marks from here.
Well, he didn't lift at all.
If you look at the tyre tracks from here, Cole,
yeah.
the right tyre looks like it's shaking past 60 foot, right, yeah. And the left tyre looks like it's stuck. So yeah, when you get out there a little bit further, well, I think we do have a little bit of cleaning up to do. So while we do that, if you keep going, I'm going to grab the radio mic because there's lots of cool people to go and be talking to, hanging about. I'll see if I can find some of them. Ladies and gentlemen, give Simon Barlow's team a big cheer. They got a bit of work probably to do on it, but that was still a stonking run and well held from that man. You can go put his straitjacket back on again now.
Well, they're still remembering that 7-0, and I'll tell you what, still more to come out of that car, most definitely. Just having a look down into the lanes, and there's all sorts of machinery down there. Number 1 qualifier coming into the session, but dropped to number 2 is Paul Hencher. He's yet to come round. And, of course, the great return once again of Alan O'Connor with Al's Gasser. They are down there as well. So Daryl's walking down with the radio mic just to have a chat with a few people, see who we can find. But yeah, we're just a little bit of a tidy up in the Auto Glim lane, but I don't think it's going to be too long, so just going to check that one out over there. Don't forget fire-ups and maybe have a quick look at the British Drag Racing Hall of Fame signing session as well. There are cars not in race classes this weekend, and that is the Custom Car Invitational. Plenty of cars that aren't eligible for any of the specific race classes this weekend, but are certainly worthy of being here, so there are quite a few cars here for that as well. The track action goes on today till around about 8 o'clock this evening, and it'll be wrapped up by our traditional fire burnouts here. Oh, who's that? That's got to be... Oh, you...
Well,
I've got to have a word with you. I've got to have a word with this... Daryl, I've got to have a word with this chap that's appeared in the tower, if you don't mind. Get a set of cans on. I know this man talks the talk and walks the walk, and he does it rather spectacularly well, but... Yeah, let's get him switched on. Andy Faster's joined us in the tower. How you doing, mate?
Hey!
Good. How was your day yesterday?
I had a fantastic day yesterday.
Yeah? You nearly ran me over.
You were in my lane.
I wasn't in your lane. I was filming, and all of a sudden, Twister shot past me at a rate of knots. Obviously, I didn't hear it coming, didn't see it coming. Like, whoa, that was fun.
I know. It wasn't fun for me.
Well, you missed me, so
I nearly had a baby.
I'm trying to find a bit of coverage on, because I was filming the run in the lane prior. And unfortunately, I had just stopped filming, because if I'd gone on for 2 seconds longer, you'd have gone straight through my shot. So, but no, that was good. Oh dear. Anyway, you did have a cracking run in the end yesterday, though, didn't you?
Yeah, the last one, which was...
are you going to prep for the future and go
Yeah, so
full
this
cage or full funny car set
yeah,
as such?
yeah, it's going to have a full chrome mully, brogy style, roadster style chassis.
Yeah.
So we can still have twin seats, but then we can tag to 6,
Nice.
which is great.
No, it's insane.
It's good.
But it's good. It's fun. It's insane fun.
Yeah. No,
Absolutely fun.
we want to keep it street legal as well.
Yeah.
So that's important.
Good. Well, anyway, any news from Supercharged Outlaws? How's everybody getting on? Everybody good?
Most are good. Aaron Windridge had a supercharger issue yesterday. You might have seen it. He popped his supercharger.
Right.
And that's damaged the inside of the supercharger. So naturally, I just happen to have a spare. So we've got a lovely little 350 Chevy with a 1471.
It's a little bit overkill, isn't it?
Well, they've just had it.
1471 blow on a small block. Lovely.
Yeah, no, but they've just had it running in the pits. They've got to make a couple of minor changes, so they're not out for this session.
Yeah.
But they'll be out for the 4 o'clock one.
Good.
And you know, we've got a couple of guests in there. We've got Billy Mcdermott, who normally street eliminator.
Yeah.
He's on a pro charger, so he's not actually a supercharged boat. So
Yeah, but he's an outlaw.
he is an outlaw, but having a pro charger on really does mean that he should be dressed in pink, and we know what that means, don't we?
Have you seen our start line crew today?
Absolutely.
Anything goes today.
Anything goes. Yeah. So, but no, he's having a great time. He's loving it. He's enjoying it, and the Supercharged Outlaws are a great bunch to be with.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Right, well, engines firing up behind us as we continue with Outlaw Anglia.
I shall let you crack on, sir.
Okay, have some fun, mate. And
Well.
you are forgiven, by the way.
I'll get you next time.
I know. Yeah, thanks, mate. All right, Andy Fadster, always good for a word, and always welcome in the tower to come and have a chat with us. As he's an all-round good egg. We like him. Right, we continue then with Outlaw Anglia. Thankfully, that was a very, very quick wash and brush up of the Auto Glim Lane. Not too much to report there. So we continue with Barry Woodford and Rob Turrington, the Anglo-Saxon, and of course Barry with the Woodford Pop and Racing team. Right, let's see how these two got on yesterday. Barry Woodford, he's in the 10s, in the number 17 spot at the moment, as is Rob Torrington, actually, currently residing in number 20. Yeah, so Barry, let's have a quick look at their numbers so far. Barry with a 10.33, Rob 10.99. Well, a nice cheeky wheels up launch there for Rob Torrington as the torque converter really hooks up and goes. 10.25, 11.17. Barry moves up to 16, just a tiny drop off in performance there for Rob, but he stays at number 20. Right, Mark Bracking against the legend that is Hall of Famer. It's Al O'Connor with Al's Gasser. And my goodness me, have you got a super crew there? Put this car back together. Well, Ginner, with help from his friends, got this car back, and it is so great to see the car here at Dragstalgia, where it belongs, back on the quarter mile. So Mark Bracken goes through with a 10.56. And Al goes through with a 13.35 at 79 mile an hour. And I must mention actually that Ginner has got a whole ton of t-shirts that actually the team were wearing this morning. They've got there over in the pits. And if you want to get hold of one of the Alsgasser t-shirts, suggest you go and see the team. Got a funny feeling they may sell out this weekend, even though they have got shed loads with them. That is going to be the t-shirt that will bring you back memories of this event. I just want Dave Eady to turn around so I can see the back of the t-shirt, but I think he can hear me. Right, next up then, it is Andy Cunningham with Agent Orange. Andy loving life here. He was had a sherbet last night, but he said, oh no, I've got to stop now, I'm racing tomorrow. Going alongside Adam Cuthbert. So, Agent Orange, Andy Cunningham. See what he's got for us today. Oh, it's not really gone off the line, unfortunately. Ah, there he goes. Adam Cuthbert went 10.24 yesterday. He's in the 9s today, 9.92, 136. And Andy Cunningham goes 13.84, but bearing in mind he was 4 seconds to 60 foot, tells you the story that, yeah, that car would have been in the 11s comfortably. Well, if you want to see a performance increase over the seasons, then this man is on it. Paul Henshaw with the gas attack Anglia went 7.45. Yes, I remember when he first dipped into the 7s. Unbelievable. Now he's up from 7.4s.
Well, the other thing was that wasn't nowhere near a clean run as well.
No.
That was, you know, still lots to come anyway from Paul Henshaw. And he's also, well, he's number 2 qualifier now after Simon Barlow's 7.27, but he's not far off.
Going alongside Rob Stone, he's currently number 9, 9.41 for Rob. Oh, Paul Henshaw's door comes open, but he's not lifting at all. Going for it all the way. It's going to be another 7 shoots out, 7.56, 173. But the driver's side door burst open, and I'm not sure if it's actually the door lock or anything that came out with it. 9.26 there for Rob Stone. Finds an improvement, moves up to number 8. And Darrell has suddenly got much more intelligent, much better looking, and all round the course. Decent bloke. As we've traded Darrell in, and we've got a Nick Davis in his place. Nick, how you doing, mate? Good to see you.
Don't forget, a lot quicker and faster as well.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously, yeah. But,
all good, very much. Thank you very much. You well?
Yeah, really, really well. It's a Dragstalgia, isn't it?
Great meeting. Gets better every year.
Well, apart from the lack of a certain altered this year, it really does. I mean, that's the only thing that we can probably do with that, you know. But there we go, Nick. It's a pleasure to have you up in the tower. I hope you can hear me okay anyway.
Yeah, I can hear you well. Thank you very much.
Yeah, sorry about that, and for everybody else, but what can we do anyway? So we're just waiting for this run, the passenger ride. Is this something you fancy having a go in, Nick, with somebody else driving?
No. I'm more than happy to be in control. I don't think I'd go down with anybody else driving.
Who would you want to take as a passenger if you could? Anybody? Be it family, be it celebrity, anybody that you would like to shut up as such.
That's a good question.
I'll let you think on that one.
So, unsuspecting passenger with friends looking on. Paul Brown in the hot seat now.
Well, this should be around about 171 miles an hour, 7.79 as a guess. So 781, 170 miles an hour. You can always dial in the two-seater these days.
You are indeed rubbish, yeah, but depending on who's in the back of it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're just about to get ready for our first Nostalgia Cannibal session of the day. So good to see the grandstand completely full and the banking looking not far off that as well. But Colin just mentioned him. However, I really do want you to give the man up in the tower your biggest welcome. Him, Rob Loring, and I think it was Scott, wasn't it?
Right.
Went to the California Hot Rod Reunion a year and a half ago in California, and they beat the Americans at their own game in Fuel Altered. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't get a chance to talk to him because he's normally up the top end. However, for the first time in a long while, it's a great pleasure to introduce from the UK
defending champion for this event as well, sadly not in a race car. Please warm your hands for Mr. Nick Davis up there in the tower, everybody, come on.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
There we go. So, racing in California, is it as much fun as you thought it would be?
Even more.
Really?
Even more. I can tell you, hand on heart, the first time we did 2 meetings at Bakersfield. We went out and did the March meet first of all and finished off at the reunion. And I've, like so many people I'm sure here, have been out and watched a few times. And I can tell you, the first time I got strapped in the car in the far up road, ready to make a run, I had a lump in my throat. And it's extraordinary. And the tracks out there, we only raced on 3 tracks out there, all concrete tracks, and fantastic. I mean, equal to Santa Pod now. Santa Pod now that they've put the concrete track in, it's just as good. But it's just knowing the history of everything that has gone on before at Bakersfield and running out there was just extraordinary. As well as the support that we got from everybody over here and over there.
Well, not only that, I mean, so what brought about the trip in the first place? Because obviously, the evolution of the Auto was born in about 2007, wasn't it? Something like that, 2008. Originally with a big block Chevy in there,
right.
Running on methanol.
Yep.
How did you end up in California with a fuel car?
Yeah, 2005 actually we finished it, and
okay.
raced it in 2006. And as you say, we had a couple of years with it. Left it alone for a while, did some other things. I was very fortunate to drive Laurie Gatehouse's Chaos for a while. In 2014, we brought it to Dragstalgia when Ron Hope with the Rat Trap and Rich Guasco with Pure Hell came over. And as you say, it was still with the alcohol engine back then. Set of circumstances, unfortunately, Ron broke Rat Trap immediately prior to their last Swan Song run, and they asked us whether or not we'd run the Bantam because it's a nostalgia-looking car with Pure Hell, and it was just one of those runs that, you know, I'm sure if you were there, you'll remember it, and it was one of those what has affectionately become known as the Hollywood run. It just made a lap and Ron asked us after that to bring the car out to America. We just laughed and said, yeah, that probably won't happen. But I said, if you bring the car back, we'll put it on nitro. So they did bring it back. So we put it on nitro and raced them 2016.
It's amazing how things spiral out of control sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so.
In a good
very
way.
much so. And we couldn't have done it just on our own. We had a lot of help from a lot of people to get it out there in the first place, and the logistics of running it out there. People think that 3 of us went out there and did everything, but there were a whole load of people behind the scenes that helped make it happen.
Well, you did have a lot of sponsors and a lot of other people, like you said, helping you, and the support you got while you're out there was pretty incredible, to say the least, wasn't it? To the point where I seem to remember watching reruns of that final run against the green car with Geraldo, James Generaldo, I think, driving. It was an incredibly close race. And I guess the way that you sit in the car, you're quite high, so you can see what's going on, and you can see just how close it was as well, I guess. Yeah,
everything. And we'd had another run with, it's actually Vince, the uncle who was driving the car. We'd had another very close run with him at Bowling Green in Kentucky. And the way that Havoc's geared, it doesn't run the front half of the track particularly well, but it runs the back half pretty well. So everybody.
You could have fooled us. It certainly looks like it. I mean, It was hauling backside this time last year. It looked like it flew the whole way down.
Yeah. It runs the front half slower than a lot of them do, just the way that we've got it geared. So frequently I'm used to seeing out of my peripheral vision the car in the other lane, and that's certainly what happened in the final when we ran at the reunion. I saw Nano on my left-hand side, and if you have a look on YouTube, there's some decent footage of it. He was out on me, although we left at the same time, and then the back half of the track, the Bantam comes into its own, and I drove around him. But I didn't, at the end of the track, I didn't know who'd won. And I didn't know until the guys came down to collect me.
Couldn't
it was
you
extraordinary.
Hear the screams from your supporters in the ground? I'm amazed you couldn't.
It doesn't stop particularly quickly, my car. It doesn't have any front brakes, so you end up quite a way down the shutdown area. And again, if you can be bothered to watch the full YouTube clip of it, it's quite a surreal moment at the top of the track. I've posted the whole thing, and it's got the whole footage, and it's so quiet down there. And Vince didn't make it to the top either. He made the first turn off, and I'm down there on my own, and it's literally just quiet and nothing going on until the boys come down to get me.
I reckon it's designed like that because it's mental, it's busy down here, and it's probably the only time you're alone with your thoughts and alone with the car all weekend.
But completely there as well. Down here we got people at, all the top end guys, we got nothing at Bakersfield.
Well, on the subject, thank you very much indeed for the recap, Nick. It's very much appreciated. I'm sure the fans out there love to know when it's on to Racing Bakersfield. Robin gets down to Cannonball. Robin Reed with the Nitro Labour taking on Eric Hollander with the Trey Roller. Rector Arrow Funny Car. Just brought back memories of me being a little kid. Except I was up there instead of down here.
And me, my goodness me, it just raised the heckles from every part of your body. Just seeing cars like this back on the quarter mile. I remember this car so well from when I was wearing shorts properly. Tree Kroner. Robin Reed, the quest for that 200-mile-an-hour run is still ongoing. Getting so close to it now. I think the best so far is 199.88. It's somewhere around there. So Eric Wallander with the Tree Kroner Arrow in the energy check lane, and in the auto-elim lane, of course, it's Robin Reed, that supercharged nitro burning Daimler Dragster, only 2.6 litre engine in there. That is the smallest of the small blocks, it really is. Pretty much side by side all the way through. 197.688 for Robin Reed, but 682 and the win light comes on. 179 there for Eric.
197.0 quick. Just very quickly, Bertie, that was a pretty good run. I must admit, when he was side by side, sorry, I beg your pardon, Robin. When he was side by side with the funny car, I thought that was going to be a little bit quicker than that. I guess you did too.
I did, yeah.
But what you're trying for, obviously you run a bunch of sixes, which in itself is a massive achievement. You just need another 3 mile an hour.
I just want to see the 2 at the start. 200
on the bottom line.
Bottom line.
Well, you're the quickest and fastest British engine car. I mean, in the world. How much would it mean to Robin and the team to get that done this weekend?
It's 30 years.
It's got to be done, really. And you're building a new car, so this may be the swan song for this machine as well.
Once we see a 200 on this bar, we won't put it to bed, but we'll put it to rest and we'll concentrate on the new car.
Well, from everybody out there, thank you for all the entertainment over all the years. Ladies and gentlemen, please, Robin Reed's team, everybody. The UK and the world's quickest British engine dragster. That's them going up to get him at the top end. Great run for Trey Kroner as well, 682, 179. Just to quickly explain the Cannonball format, the way that it works, we've got 12 cars entered, I think. And what they're going to do is come out and put 3 runs in. So they'll put in 2 runs today. This is the first session, another one this afternoon, and then 1 tomorrow earlier on, and then the quickest 2 cars accumulated over that period will race in the final, which you won last year, didn't you?
We didn't.
Just to get an altered to run well is hard enough. To get it to run well 4 times in a row, did you just leave it alone all weekend? Is that what you did?
Well, we kind of backed it down a little. The trick with the Cannonball, don't tell anybody, is not to run too hard in the first 2-3 runs. You kind of need to, well, what we considered, we came to win it, so we backed the car down a little bit so that you have an engine for every pass. Now, wait and see. You've got 12 cars running now. Fingers crossed you'll have 12 by tomorrow morning. But if I was a betting man, there's a possibility that you'll get some attrition along the way. So the Bantam's a very good and easy car to drive, despite what you might think. But
are you sure? Okay. Well, the thing is, you say that racers always speak with forked tongue, and I don't want to cast aspersions on our champ from last year. When he says taking it easy, he did run his fastest ever speed, didn't you?
I did run quite fast, yeah.
There we
did
go.
Did it go 2:38? Yeah, it did, yeah.
So even though
point
you did,
taken. But
you took it easy with your fastest ever pass.
Yeah, true enough, yeah.
So, yeah, anyway. But you won, most importantly, you won the final, I think, over Ramon, who isn't here with the car. I think Ramon
big shame.
Yeah, absolutely. Big hi to Rockin' Ramon, who's been to every Dragstalgia with the car. Sadly, he's not here with the car. He's still here this weekend to watch, because it's just that kind of race, isn't it, that everyone likes to come along to. So, it looks like we've got Andy Raw coming around with the Nitro Bug. He made his first test launch yesterday, which went very well indeed.
Well, the sheer volume of work that has gone into this Nitro Bug, I think Darryl's about 4 years in the build, this one. Heck of a long time, but Carl Harrison, a huge amount of work from him on this car. He's basically been Andy with Carl being the main two on it, but then a load of other people helping out as well. Been to various car shows as well with the car. They raise money for charity, but this is his first time on the quarter mile. Good to see Steve Taylor back. Actually, Steve, as you know, runs the Black Magic Dragster. Of course, Steve Taylor brings back memories of Graham Hawes back in the day. Here we go there then. First run today for Andy Raw. Check out pass yesterday. Carl Harrison just does the final bit. Sets him off for the run. Here we go then.
Well, a little bit of a bounce going off the start line. Still another good launch for Andy Raw. As everybody enjoys the rise down here on the start line. It is a learning process with these cars. Andy and the team have spent 4 years building that, so it's always going to be tough. It's a tough ask to come out here in front of everybody and run really well right off the bat, but they'll get there.
We can't. There's nowhere else you can test it. It's the same issue that like the jet cars have. You can't just fire them up at home. You've got to bring them to the racetrack. You can only test here. And normally, you can only test in front of a huge crowd.
Saying that, unless your name's Dennis Priddle and you had an airfield out the back of your
workshop.
Well,
yeah, that could help.
Do you remember that? Because you remember, I don't know whether, a lot of people here have been around a while, like me, like Colin, like maybe Nick, I don't know. But if you remember the Tomorrow's World documentary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When he put Maggie Philbin in the car. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nitro Bug team, please give them a cheer. It's been a long, hard road to get here, and they will get there. Yeah, when he had Maggie Philbin in the car, he actually went out and did some test passes on just a disused airfield. However, with the way the cars are these days, that might be kind of tricky to do. Okay, up next is Paul Harris with the Chi-Town Hustler. Really nice guy, Paul. Had a long chat with him last night. And there's the Dennis Priddle connection, because he's going to run a tribute body, a Monza, very similar to the 11 tribute body from back in the 70s. But for the moment, we'll just have to stick with the wonderful Chi-Town Hustler. Just very very quickly to explain as well, the reason that we're running one car at a time is both Andy Raw and Paul don't actually have their race licenses yet, so they have to do it on their own, just in case, obviously, because it's still part of the learning process. But Paul got off the start line quite nicely yesterday, and everything seems to be going in the right direction. Got a bit of expert help with Mr. Priddle on the start line as well. Ever fancy driving a... Well, you kind of driven a sort of funny car, Nick, because Chaos was enclosed just like this car, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and it felt, I'm sure, very, very similar. But as you say, I've never driven one, so I can't tell you exactly.
So Paul Harris brings the Chi-Town Hustler Dodge up to the start line in the Auto Glim lane. His first run today. Right, a half past there for Paul.
All part of the learning process.
Yeah, and coast through with a 9:57.83. I've got an urgent message, please, for Jackie Evans. This is an urgent message for Jackie Evans. Can you please head over to the medical centre, please? Jackie Evans, your husband is over there, and Jackie Evans, if you could get over to the medical centre, please, urgently. Thanks very much indeed.
Yeah, we were just saying, Nick, about being enclosed as opposed to being out in the fresh air like the Alters.
Yeah, very, very different. Very, very different.
What's preferable in your obviously experience now?
They're both huge. They're both huge fun in very, very different ways.
Well, the thing is, with it, from the outside, it looks like an enclosed car, like Chaos was, like Funny Cars. It does look like they fill up with clutch stuff. Is that the way it works?
They do, but it's no big deal. It's no big deal at all, and you kind of don't even notice it in the car.
Right, Rob Elsom and Doc Stinger, your next pair to come round. You know, it's a fantastic feeling, just if you look over your shoulder, Nick, just seeing Nostalgia Funny Car bodies propped up. You've already seen some go through, still queuing up round the corners.
It's just an extraordinary meeting. It's fantastic.
Burn out there for Doc Stinger going actually right up to half track there. As he engages reverse and heads back, it's going to be Rob Elsom in the energy check lane. Sounds like he's leaning it out to switch the motor off, unfortunately.
It must be especially annoying with the engine fired and the body stand gone to not be coming round here. Anyway, Doc Stinger put in his first ever and only to date 6-second run. He did make a real good run in Hockenheim as well, but unfortunately didn't get an ET. So the car with, I think the chassis under there was Tom Hoover's old Jamie Sarty car in the 70s. Really impressive.
If you're interested in getting a full-on nostalgia funny car, then this car is actually for sale. You can pop round and see Doc and the team in the pits. You never know, you could be the next owner of this car and maybe come out to play at Dragstalgia next year. But at the moment, it's Doc with the Stinger 2. Just a little scuff of the wall there. I think he just brushed the header pipes and nothing about it.
Yeah, just a little tap of the graze of the wall. 1062, 71 miles an hour. That's Doc's first run of the season. It's a hell of a long way to come to race from Austria. Obviously, they don't have any racetracks in Austria. They have lots of the world's best mountains to go downhill very fast on, but they don't have any drag strips. So it's a long trip over here. Good to see some nostalgia commentators as well. Yes, we love you, Mr. Price. Sorry. It's really cool that Doc comes all the way over from Austria. However, track time, as you said before, Nick, you can't just go anywhere and run these cars. Track time is at a premium. So up next, we've got Toby Jansson from Sweden with the Nitrocalypse. This car used to be Anders Lian's methanol funny car, Pro Comp car, back in the 80s, with a Corvette body on. This is Toby's first trip to Santa Cruz, and he's going to be taking on Venom with Tony Bennett at the wheel. Side by side, Tony Bennett.
So a short burnout there for Tony Betts. A little bit late to the burnout, to be fair. So not wanting to put too much heat and extra stress into his opponent's car. So the Nitro Corvette from Sweden. So the Nitrocalypse Corvette with Toby Jansson behind the wheel, and his Tony Betts obviously with Venom. New carbon fibre body on the car, lots of new parts. Well, it's almost a new car. Check out parts yesterday, all looking good. Obviously being a cannonball format, every single run counts, so they still need to run a decent number. Well, Tony Clicks eventually goes 698 against a 673 for Toby Jansson there into the #1 spot.
Well, currently the quickest run so far, and I hasten to say so far, quick track check. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to introduce someone down here on the start line, if that's okay. Would you please warm your hands for the first ever visit to the UK for one of the world's greatest drag racing legends. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Roland Leong, everybody. There you go, sir. That's for you. If you don't mind, just a couple of quick words, sir. First of all, welcome to the UK. Is this your first trip here?
Actually, it's my second trip here. I came here a couple of years ago for the Hall of Fame banquet.
So you decided to come back and check out the racing. You've had so many drivers over so many years, and there's lots of stories, I'm sure. I think the first question I really want to ask you, you've been around a while. What would you say your favourite era of drag racing was? Because you're around in the 60s, 70s, 80s, in the 90s. You were still a car owner in the 90s. What was your favourite time?
Actually, my favourite time was in 1965.
Okay.
A guy called Don Perron, I think they call him the Snake today. He drove my first Top Fuel dragster, and that car actually made both of our careers. So I have to say that was my favourite year.
I'm sure it was, and it just got better from there. Anyway, Roland, I hope we get the chance to talk again, but thank you very much, and we hope you have a great weekend.
My pleasure, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Pleasure. So give Rob Elsom and the Dirty Deeds team a little bit of love, ladies and gentlemen. That was going to be Rob's first run of the year. He's been working his backside off and so have the team to get the car here. But just not to be that time, unfortunately. Okay, Freddie's revenge. With Robbie Grabham on board, taking on the Apache of Tim Garland.
Nice bit of waving from Rob Loring to the webcam there.
There we go.
I think he's forgotten about that. Right. So, Timmy Garlick with the Apache and Robbie Grabham with Freddie's revenge. Oh, that sounds hard as nails.
Yeah, it's in good shape, I think.
Now, you and Timmy share kind of the same tuner, I guess.
Yeah, Tim's
how much Rob learned on the funny car do you think helped you guys?
Oh, hugely.
Yeah.
Hugely. Well, yeah, bear in mind that he's got a late Hemi in this. We've got the early Hemi in mind. But, yeah, Tim's our test bed. So we just blow everything up on Tim's and put it in a mine and we're in good shape.
So, Robbie Grabham, he's in the energy check lane with a little Topolino, Freddie's Revenge, and of course Tim Garlick, the 1977 Firebird, the Apache car, has been into the fives. Love to uncork another one of those today, but anything in the sixes will do.
Keep watching.
Well, good looking runs for both of them. Tim Garlick out in front to a 6:38, takes the top spot. 7:31 for Robbie Grabham, a super run for Robbie.
Yeah,
wow.
I think that's Robbie's quickest ever run.
I think you're right.
That's quickest ever run. But just quickly,
Dave Grabham is going berserk over there.
While we've got Nick captive up there, is there anything you want to say to him? Because he's normally up there, isn't he?
No, he's fine. It's fine. We've got to work together on Monday, so yeah, we'll save it till then.
We'll save it till then, excellent. But Timmy's doing. It's so good to see Timmy back, and well, I think you'll love your team around so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while. It's a bit off pace there. We came out last Sunday and tested, and the car shook pretty hard. We broke it. Yeah, so we had to weld it up on Thursday. And yeah, we're just trying to get a couple of numbers on the board, make sure everything's okay, and yeah, maybe we'll pull the trigger tomorrow.
I love the way you guys, the pair of you, are just the most understated English gentlemen I have ever come across. Right, we just want to get down the racetrack, just want to take it easy, low ET of the race so far, that kind of thing. Nick was saying earlier that last year you just took it easy and set the fastest speed.
I mean, you know how fast the car's gone. 6:38 for that car is pretty pedestrian. So, yeah, hopefully, if everything's okay back in the pits, I would guess we'll probably put another one of those on the board just as a kind of banker, and depending on how everybody feels tonight, we'll start to bring it up a little.
You want to be around for the final tomorrow, obviously.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we get a shot to run rolling, well, you know, you've got to give it a try, haven't you?
Always good to see you, Rob. Thank you very much, mate.
Right, Robbie Grabham, got to give a shout out to Dave.
moving seat. One thing I've got to say, Nick, because it's not normally that side about you.
No, I'm sure.
He's at the other end. You know, when you can't hear him, he's totally different. Anyway.
I get that.
So Matt put in his first ever run in this car, a test run yesterday. Launch off the start line. Let's see how far he gets this time. I think this is actually the last car for the Cannibal. I'm just going to wipe my nose around the corner. Indeed it is. We have Supercharged Outlaws coming next, so don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to stay crooked loud.
Right, there is a bit of a fluid leak, unfortunately, out the front of the car, so Matt's shutting it off.
Well, Matt has got two cars here this weekend. He's got this funny car, and he's also got the helicopter engine, the turbine front-engined dragster. Hopefully things get better for Matt over the weekend. It is a massive effort running these cars, and that is a terrific shame. But that's the first round of the Cannibal. The next one's scheduled for around about mid-afternoon. But like I said, we've got Supercharged Outlaws coming up. Nick, I want to thank you very much for your time, sir.
Okay, so Friday afternoon at Dragstalgia, and like I said, it is the chill day. But Tony Underhill, you're out here with the Willis, and you're going to go for your first run of the weekend, is it?
Yeah, first run of the weekend, out with the Willis Wars, first pair out, then back, turn it around quick, and then out with Supercharged Outlaws straight after that.
Wow.
So, double entering this weekend.
Okay, so you're going to be proper busy. Now, obviously, this is quite a new car to yourself, only a few runs under your hat. How we feel? What's your personal best at the moment?
9.6.
Okay.
That was a half throttle launch, half throttle run. Forgot to change gear, but yeah, it's an awesome bit of kit. It's really cool.
That's it. Well, it's
Supercharged Outlaws, and it is the Fadster to kick things off. Three 30-foot burnout there for Andy Fadster. Coast up to the 8th. And I do believe that's Jim Usher with the Hemi Hunter. All right, time approaching 10 to 1 in the afternoon. Don't forget, we do have the Nitro fire-ups at 1 o'clock, and then the British Drag Racing Hall of Fame signing session in the display area at 1:15. After Supercharged Outlaws, we do... that's a point. We're expecting Fire Force 2, the jet car, one of Martin's earlier machines. Don't forget, Martin's been running jet cars for 30 years, and one of his early ones. Here. Now then, I think there could be a couple of sprinkles in the air. Darryl, can you